Welcome back, everybody, to On Pit Row. Steve Ronkwitz, Charlie Turner with you live from the original Gino's Pizza and Grill. Very happy to welcome to our bench racing hotline driver of the famous number 21 for Wood Brothers Racing. He is the winner of the 2011 Daytona 500 on the Cup side, and he drives the number 6 nationwide car for Jack Roush, sponsored, I believe, this week by Pillow Pets. Trevor Bayne, welcome to the show. Thanks.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. We're ready for a fun weekend here in Charlotte.
I bet. Is that right? You've got Pillow Pets on the side of the nationwide car?
Hey, I hope you're not making fun, but yeah, it's a cool sponsor actually. You know, we've got them for 3 races on the nationwide car. It's this weekend, and then we have them for Indy and then the second Dover race. Also, you know, we're running the Cup car Motorcraft this weekend. So we got a lot going on, but you know, I didn't realize how much little kids love Pillow Pets until this weekend. So everywhere I go, you know, I'm wearing my Pillow Pets race suit or shirt, and everybody wants them. So we've given out probably 200 so far this weekend, and on Sunday we're going to ZMAX Dragway to give out 2,000 more to troops' families that are coming home. So it'll be pretty cool.
I think that is very, very cool. Your first race with Wood Brothers was the Texas 500 back 2010. How'd that deal come together? Was it one of those quick phone call things from Eddie Wood, or was it one of a long negotiating process?
Well, it actually had nothing to do with the Wood Brothers, as crazy as that sounds. It did eventually, but really it all started when I signed with Roush Fenway in 2010. They wanted to get me into a Cup car to get me approved for the next season, just in case they had availability on the Cup side for me to drive. And so I went to Texas and drove for the Wood Brothers, and it went really well. And the Wood Brothers were excited about it. And for the next season, they let me drive their car, and that was starting at Daytona, which that blew up, and so I was with them every race that they ran. But you know, it's a pretty neat deal because the Wood Brothers were willing to develop a young driver, which wasn't their typical thing. Bill Elliott was in the car at the time. They've had a lot of veteran drivers along the way. Elliott Sadler was kind of a rookie when he drove for him, but you know, it was really neat for them to be open-minded to that, and for Roush Fenway to be able to form a partnership with them to allow me to start driving for them.
Well, this next question kind of leads into that a little bit. Obviously, when you won the Daytona 500, it was the day after your 20th birthday. And when I was a kid, I bowled with a young man. His name was John Stewart. And at 13 years old, he became, at that time, the youngest bowler to ever throw a 300 game. And after that, everybody expected every time he went to a bowling alley, he was going to throw a 300. Did expectations like that kind of follow you after that 500 win? I know the season kind of blew up on you because you got sick, but did you feel that pressure, you know, immediately after you won the 500?
No, I mean, I think we were still realistic about it. And actually, I got a phone call from some people from the NASCAR side saying, "Hey, man, you need to own this win more. You know, you need to say that you did it." And I was like, "Look, I'm not going to be arrogant about this win because this was a huge blessing, and it's not something that's going to happen every weekend. You know, realistically, we're a part-time team that was really fortunate to win a race, and you know, I'm not going to act like that's going to happen next week because that would change the expectations way too much. You know, Daytona, we went into hoping for a top 15 would have been great. That would have been a strong run, and we win the thing. So with that being said, it's a super speedway race. A lot of stuff can happen, and the cars are a lot more equal there. But I knew the next couple of weeks we'd be going to Phoenix and Texas and Vegas and all that, which Vegas we had another strong run until I spent on pit road. We were in the top 10. But you know, I think we did a good job as a team keeping our expectations in check, knowing our circumstance. On the other side, I think the media and everybody else, the new fan that had just watched that race and saw me win, did kind of expect that, and I think it was probably a little bit of a reality check for them as much as us when we went to Phoenix and struggled a little bit. But you know, as a part-time team, we've still been competitive. Top 15s are where we need to run. We'd love to get a win, get some top 5s rolling, obviously, but it's hard when you're racing against teams like Roush Fenway and Hendrick and Joe Gibbs and Penske and they're full-time teams, so that's kind of where we're at.
Did it surprise you at all that more sponsorship didn't follow you after that 500 win? And everybody obviously, you know, is scrambling to get sponsorship in this business. But, you know, to a casual observer, I guess, most people would say, wow, he won the Daytona 500. You would think that, boy, people would just be knocking at the door to be throwing money at you.
Yeah, no, it did kind of shock me a little bit, but I think some of it was the fact that we weren't exactly prepared for that kind of a take on. You know, we didn't expect to win that race, and when it happened, you know, everybody was in scramble mode just trying to get cars ready because we weren't planning on running the next race. And then when we won, they said, man, we got to go to Phoenix. So they started getting a car together. I traveled around the country for the next 35 days in a row without going home.
Wow.
Doing media stuff. So it was just like a scramble, but I think if we could do it again and we were a little bit better prepared, we might have been able to go knock on some more doors to create some more funding. But you know, I think it all worked out okay, and we're still good to go. But I would have thought that after all the media attention that we got and from that win, we might have drawn some more sponsorship.
We're talking with Trevor Bayne, driver of the number 21 car for Wood Brothers Racing, of course, a 6 on the nationwide side for Jack Roush. You're going to be coming up to our neck of the woods here in another couple of weeks. Of course, MIS is right around the corner. But the other cool thing, you're going to be heading up to Dearborn to Ford's World Headquarters for the finals of the Student Auto Skills Competition, which is sponsored by Ford and by AAA. Tell me about your part in that deal. And of course, I know that part of the grand prize is that the winner gets to follow you around Daytona in July. So that's got to be a pretty cool deal as well.
Yeah, it is. And we did it last year, so I've learned a lot more about it. But, man, it was cool because at the beginning of this competition, it starts with 13,000 entries where they take an online kind of assessment test kind of thing. And then they narrow it down pretty much by competition to get to one team from each state. So you have a leader from that school and then their class or their students that have won the competition. And then they go to Dearborn, Michigan, and they have Ford Focuses there that they pre-bug. They mess with the computer systems and tires or oil or whatever, and they don't tell the students what's wrong with it. So Ford will do that. They'll plant bugs in the cars, and then they'll time them. They have a written test and then a test to fix the cars. And it was neat to see, man. It was flashy. I can't remember exactly the time, but it was somewhere around like 15 minutes to fix, you know, so many bugs. I think it was like 13 bugs or something. And they started from scratch, so they had to check everything on the car to make sure they weren't missing anything.
That's cool.
It's really neat to see. But they offer scholarships and all kinds of programs to the students. But I think the coolest one is the fact that they get to go to our race shop, hang out with our team, and work on the race cars actually, and learn. And stay in Charlotte, North Carolina for some time, and then they go to the racetrack with us and hang out. So it's a lot of fun for them.
That is very cool. We're taping this show on the Friday before the 600. You qualified 29th for the 600, about 5 miles an hour or so behind Denny Hamlin. Car going to be better in race trim, you think?
Man, yesterday I think we would have had a shot at the pole if we went out late. The qualifying started at 7 o'clock, which started in the heat of the day pretty much. It was still really sunny out, and it ended at night. So the track gained so much grip, so much speed. You know, just like Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch, they were the fastest for sure all day in practice, but they went out kind of fairly early. So at the end, you know, other guys were able to go quicker than them. So you know, it wasn't exactly the run we were looking for, but R1 and 2, the car went through there so great. I got to turn 3 where it was sunny and it slid way up the racetrack. So you know, I think we're going to be okay in race trim, and we just had a bad draw for qualifying yesterday, and that's kind of how it goes for night qualifying. You know, if you go out early, you're kind of out of luck, but you know, I think we'll be really good this weekend.
All right, I got one more question before I break you loose. I know you got a tough schedule here this morning. Talk to me about that a little bit, about the 600. Is that the true endurance race still? Everybody, you know, back in the 50s and 60s, which obviously you don't remember, I do, these cars would break all the time. But this new Gen 6 car, it doesn't seem like this car breaks. Is adding another 100 miles to a normal race, to a 500-mile race, going to 600, is that going to be the equalizer a little bit?
You know, I don't think that the cars will break after that. You know, you could have some things happen and more cautions, but I think these guys have got the cars so figured out that they know that fine line of performance versus making it last. And, you know, you see these guys, you know, every now and then they'll try something new in an engine or they'll try something new in a car, and it does fail, but that's not very often these days because of the simulation we have, the engineering support we have. They're able to tell a lot sooner if it's going to make it or not. You know, so I think that the 600 is probably the biggest mentally challenged race because you go 600 miles. So you're halfway through it and you've already raced a full nationwide race pretty much.
Yeah.
So you have to just pace yourself. The track changes so much from starting in the day to ending at night. I remember watching it in 2011 when Ricky Stenhouse drove for me when I was in the hospital. And I watched it from 3 different places. I was at the track, and then I came home and watched it, and then I went to somebody's house for dinner and watched it, and then I came back home and watched it. So I watched the end. So it's just a long race, and you got to be patient because a lot can change.
Well, Trevor, honestly, I've been trying to talk to you for 2 years, and your schedule and our schedule has never worked out. I'm so glad we've been able to do this. I could talk to you for about another hour and a half, so we'll have to figure out a way to do it again. Thanks so much for spending time with us. I truly appreciate it. Best of luck down in Charlotte and the rest of the year, man. We always follow, and we're big fans of yours, truly are.
Well, I really appreciate that. It's good talking to you.
All right, take care. That is Trevor Bayne. He's driver 21, number 21, Wood Brothers Racing Car. He'll be down at Charlotte this week, and, of course, follow the Nationwide car as well. He runs Jack Roush with Pillow Pets on the side. That is a very, very cool thing. This is On Pit Road. We'll be back right after this.